Buy your next new or used car the way you want to buy with the Pinehurst Toyota Smart Buy program. Visit PinehurstToyota.com and choose or build the vehicle you want. Try the Pinehurst Toyota Smart Buy. It's the easiest way to buy your next new or used car.
Welcome to the Zaxby's Coaches Show, brought to you by New Image Media.
Hey, welcome everybody to Week 1 Coaches Show here in Moore County. We're at the beautiful Pinehurst Toyota facility here in Southern Pines, North Carolina. I've got a beautiful Toyota Tundra here behind me. We've got a beautiful Porsche in front of us. Got to tell you, this is an immaculate place. Absolutely come down, take a look at all of their nice vehicles. With me today is one of our sponsor representatives, Hector Perez, here with Zaxby's. Hector, how you doing?
I'm doing well. The summer definitely went by really fast, and I didn't get a chance to go to the beach, so sucks, but for the most part, doing pretty well.
It's hard being a working man, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Hector's here representing Zaxby's. Zaxby's has been a huge sponsor of high school sports and specifically local Lee County, Moore County, Harnett County athletics for many years now. I feel like I've been seeing Hector from back in my days when I was coaching football. So Hector, thank you. Zaxby's, thank you for everything you do. Tell us a little bit what's going on right now in the Zaxby's world. What do you have cooking up for us in that good chicken grease?
A lot of things have happened. Obviously the problem with like staffing and jobs and stuff like that. It's been kind of a setback, but coming back from that, I think now we've done a lot better. We're looking to tap into markets that we haven't. Like we have stores in Charlotte, we have a store here in Southern Pines. We were happy to be here for that, and especially our local store near the beach, Whiteville, which is the best store because it's right next to the beach.
So what I'm hearing is if you're looking for employment, Zaxby's.
Oh, yeah.
100%. Is it all you can eat chicken sandwiches? Because I could be convinced.
You could be convinced?
I could be convinced.
Okay, I'll get you an application then.
Very good. So tell us, I spend a good bit of time on the road, so I get to travel, and I probably eat out way more than my doctor tells me I should. The big race lately has been the chicken sandwich race.
Right, yeah.
I personally think Zaxby's is still in the top. Are all the reviews and all of the raters out there in the world calling Zaxby still top of the line?
I haven't heard much from it just because I think everyone and their mother tried to bring a chicken sandwich. I mean, you can go to the gas station, you can find a chicken sandwich, a nice one. But I have a bias, so I'm going to say Zaxby's has a better one. Chick-fil-A's back there. I'll give them a good thumbs up for theirs.
Zaxby's always is one of my top picks when I'm traveling on the road. If you want a good, consistent chicken meal anywhere I go in the country, Zaxby's is around. I haven't hit one internationally yet, so talk to your guys down in the Caribbean and let's get to Zaxby's at St. Thomas pretty soon.
I'll make sure to go to that store if it's international and open one in the Bahamas. That'd be great, right?
That it's a terrible place to work sometimes. I tell you, it's just awful.
Hector.
So going into the fall, what are we looking forward to with Zaxby's this fall and around?
I think one of the biggest things we do for the fall is, it's starting to get cool. People are wanting to run more, so we do a lot of sponsorships for the 5Ks. I know Victory Junction up in Asheboro is one of the biggest, races we do around, and it's a good cause. So, we look forward to a lot of those. In regards to sports, we're happy to, be part of it, and it's kind of a weird place that we put ourselves in because we have stores that also, some of the employees work and go to the school nearby. And so whenever, they have two schools going at it, it's like we have to pick a side, and I try not to, but it's happened before.
It's happened before.
Yeah.
Now, high school football is kicked off. College football kicks off next weekend. Is Zaxby still running their catering trays where you can order online and get chicken pre-made? All you got to do is pick up. Tell us what all of our football fans at home can do to get Zaxby's for their game day celebrations.
So the easiest way I would recommend is go to Zaxby's.com. You can look at your just put in your zip code and it'll show you your local Zaxby's around the area, and from there you can kind of just put an online order through there. or you could just simply call your local Zaxby's if you know it. You're pretty familiar with one. We have more, next door. So if you just want to give it a call, that's probably the easiest way to go about it, and there's plenty of options to choose from.
Plenty of options. I've ordered Zaxby's online a couple of times during the work week when I've got a tight rush where I can run uptown to hit Zaxby's real quick and then make it back to the house in between conference calls. I love that order online option where you can just
really
park,
good.
walk right in, walk up to a special little counter where you're like, here's my number, and they have it right there ready for you.
Yeah, it's made it very convenient for us too.
Very, very convenient. Anything else we need to know about Zaxby's or Hector Perez before we continue on?
No, not much yet. I'm looking forward to a lot of things. I know Zaxby's corporate themselves are trying to bring out a couple of new things. I haven't heard anything yet, so whenever I do, you'll hear.
We got to be the first to know. We got to be breaking news here at Pinehurst
I'll make
Toyota.
sure of it then.
All right. This has been the Coaches Show here at Pinehurst Toyota. This is Hector Perez with Zaxby's. We're going to take a quick break here from our sponsors, and we'll be back with head coach Jason Trousdale of the Union Pines Vikings.
All right, soldiers. Today we decide. Are we going to run and hide, or are we going to fight? They think it's over. Well, they got another thing coming. Because today, we're going big.
Introducing Zaxby's new signature sandwich with a double hand-breaded filet, split top bun, and Zax sauce, or new spicy Zax sauce. Only at Zaxby's.
Buy your next new or used car the way you want to buy with the Pinehurst Toyota Smart Buy program. Visit PinehurstToyota.com and choose or build the vehicle you want. Try the Pinehurst Toyota Smart Buy. It's the easiest way to buy your next new or used car.
Legacy Commercial and Residential Construction welcomes you to the NFHS Network's Game of the Week. Brought to you by New Image Media.
Hey, welcome back here to Pinehurst Toyota here in Southern Pines, North Carolina. With me, we have head coach Jason Trousdale of the Union Pines Vikings. Coach, welcome to the first week of our coaches show. Beautiful facility here at Pinehurst Toyota, and congrats on your Week 1 win. Go ahead, before we get into Montgomery Central and then proceeding into Grace Creek, tell us a little bit about you. Tell us a little bit about the boys you're coaching this year. Tell us a little bit about your off season. Okay. Really, what was your thought process coming into this fall season? What was your off season like? Just talk a little bit about that.
All right. First of all, I just want to say thank you to Pinehurst Toyota for having us. I mean, this place is just beautiful. It's outstanding. And thank you for giving us that. Congratulations. A little bit about myself. This is my 6th year actually as a head coach. I was a head coach in New York for 4 years. Record was 27-9, had 4 playoff appearances. Was a state champion, assistant coach. Played 4 years college football, 2 at Cuba Community College and 2 at Brockport. I was a captain 3 out of the 4 years in college. So as far as being, a leader, I always wanted to be a coach. I played some semi-pro football for about a year. A job opened up at Leedsport High School in New York. I was an assistant for 4 years. After we won the state title, the head coach resigned. I took over the program, and as I said, I had 4 successful playoff seasons. I moved around a little bit. I was the offense coordinator at Port Bowling High School for 3 years. We made the playoffs. My first year, it was the first time in over 20 years that we made the playoffs. I was the offense coordinator. A couple years later, I had an opportunity to work at a equivalent to where I'm at now at Union Pines, East Syracuse, Manoa. I was the offense coordinator there for 4 years, and we had top 5 offense for 4 years in a row, where we averaged between 38 and 40 points a game. So I built myself as an offensive guy. Moved down here to North Carolina in 2018, took a year off of coaching, really missed it, went and watched a couple games. Opportunity came back to coach with Coach Quinn. He came, had an opportunity, I took the job as a special teams coordinator. He had left for a job in South Carolina. Coach Cox came in and did a good job for the 2 years. I was the defense coordinator for those 2 years under Coach Cox. Last year was my first year as head coach. It didn't go quite the way we wanted it to go. We were 2-8, but we were closer to 5-5. We lost 3 games by a total of 11 points. This year, 2 weeks after our season ended, I brought the seniors in, and I talked to them about and this is their team, it's not my team. It's you guys have an opportunity to be really successful. And I told them that we had a goal sheet, and I actually got that. They might not know that, but I actually have it in a box of all their goals that they put in place back in November. So these two guys and about 14 others that weren't in weight training class because they had filled classes with other stuff, we opened the weight room in the morning. So there was no stone left unturned. They knew that if we were going to be a physical football team in the conference that we played, we needed to work out, we needed to get stronger, we needed to get faster. They took that head on, and through the spring and summer, they continued to be there, be consistent, and it paid off against a really tough Montgomery Central team coached by Coach Metzger. He called me after the game on Sunday to let me know that he was very impressed with our football team, and I told him I was his team likewise. And we aren't quite there yet, but we're coming. We really like where we're at. I think our kids are confident, and we're really looking forward to our Week 2 opponent.
I was talking to a couple of guys in the community throughout the weekend. The beginning of fall football is always a really fun time in Lee County, Moore County, Harnett County, Wake County. And there's a big group of us that have either played together, coached together, called games at some point in time. And they were asking me what I thought of Union Pines, having watched y'all Friday night at Montgomery Central. And give you a little bit of backstory, I played against Union Pines when I was growing up. So, as Pop Warner coming to Moore County, played Union Pines as a high school athlete, coached against Moore County middle schools when I first started my coaching career, coached against them at the high school level, coached against Union Pines, and now I've called multiple of your games. So I've been, somewhat in the know about Union Pines football since 2005. So we're going on longer than I care to admit. Sure. I won't tell a lot of people how long that's been. But I was talking about how I think this is one of the most physical Union Pines teams that I've seen in many, many years. And as long as I've been in the coaching and the calling realm, that's been since 2014. So in the last 8 years, I think this was the most physical Union Pines game that I've seen to date in the coaching realm. So huge hats off to you, your coaching staff, these gentlemen here that we'll introduce in a little bit, and all of your guys there at Union Pines. I really, going into the game, having talked to you, I was like, he gave me the regular coach's spiel. Well, we've worked hard, we've hit the weight room, this, that, and the other. And we've all heard it. Everyone gives the kind of cookie-cutter answer. But having watched you after Friday night, I was going home, and Kristen Lambert called me, and I was like, man, he told me the truth. That was the real deal. That was a true 100% story. So congratulations to y'all. Great offseason, and it really shows. Going into conference play, having that extra bump in strength, having that extra bump in size is going to make a world difference. Schools like yourself, Union Pines, Southern Lee, just in pure number of students is so much lower than some of the other schools in your conference. And being able to really bulk up in the weight room and make yourself more competitive at that level, I think I'm really excited to watch y'all throughout the season. So I'm really, really excited about that. We actually switched our games around so I can stay with y'all for this week.
Oh, wonderful.
Good. Just because I want to watch Grace Creek and y'all go at it. All right, so let's talk about Montgomery Central a little bit. Give us a little bit what your thought process was in the game plan going into Friday night, and how you were wanting to combat Chris Metzger. I was calling the veer from Chris Metzger, having coached against him for years and years. I was anticipating coming out of the veer, and that was completely wrong.
Yeah.
So talk to me a little bit about your game plan going up into Friday night.
Well, we had talked about how, Coach Metzger is a power counter, but he also runs some speed option with a quarterback, and obviously under center split back veer as well. So we had to plan a little bit for all that. We talked about responsibilities and the option and whatnot, but going into that game, one of their players had actually played to huddle, and they showed up in the gun running triple out of the gun. So that helped us a little bit know what our responsibilities were, because it hits a little bit different in the gun than it does under center. Mm-hmm. It hits a lot quicker under center. So we thought that they were going to try to unbalance us, which they did, and we would be able to we either were going to run bear, which you only had to do a little bit, And then we just bumped our backers just so we're able to have so many guys on one side of the ball, and then the other side to the strength.
So for our viewers at home, explain the bear concept. I know it is 5 men on the ground, but you go ahead and explain it a little bit more.
There's different variations of bear. You can run cover 1, you can run cover 0, you can run cover 3 behind it. But what it is we go with 2-0 and then 2-3 techniques. And then anytime there is an extra man, 3-man surface, whether it's the tackle over guy or that tight end, our defensive end is actually inside shade of that tight end. So we force them to down block him. So if he down blocks him, they're going to have to kick the far guy, the outside back, or the overhang guy. So the longer you string the play out, you're either going to force that back to either run sideways, which you don't get yards when you run sideways, or put the foot in the ground now and cut it back. And when you cover guys up, when you have a guy as a nose and then you have a 2-3 techniques, it's very tough to move that many guys. There's a lot of single blocks. And fortunately, we really didn't have to do that. All we did was bump our linebackers over, and our defensive line was absolutely phenomenal. They kept the backers clean for the most part. One of the boys that's in here right now today, the young man, Chris Gilbert, his pursuit to the football was college football material. Like he shedded blocks, and he ran down plays, and that's all because of what the guys are doing up front. So we're predicated on lining up right. We're predicated on once you find the football, you pursue to the ball, and you could be the backside linebacker. You still got to take that correct pursuit angle to the football, because a lot of good things happen when you pursue the ball. One was he had a strip fumble that set up another one of our touchdowns. So assignment football oriented, but once you realize where the football is going, you got
to swarm to it.
8-9 guys to the football. So.
Absolutely. One thing we noticed throughout the night was how big of a difference special teams played in the ball game. And for all of our viewers at home, you had 2 kickoffs that returned to within the 30, right? I think one was right at the 30. I think one was at a 15. Talk to us about going into week 1, how much you prepared on special teams. Were you calling a place kick right about the 35 with Mr. Cannon? Or was that just a fluke? Because you did it twice.
When we recovered the ball?
Correct.
Yes, we did call that, because what we had saw was we'd kicked it deep a couple times, and they had some good return yardage. So they were giving us that sideline at around the 30-yard line. So we talked to the special teams guy, Coach Trousdale, did a heck of a job, and he was the one that actually told me, Coach, we got to concentrate more on special teams. So we did that pooch kick there, and our number 1 player, the one guy on the outside, Brendan Ortega, really hustled his butt down and made the play on that. The ball obviously got to hit the ground before you can recover it. But, yeah, that was planned. And to talk about special teams, we actually, every day in practice, that's how we start practice. It's 20 minutes of specials every single day since August 1st. So it definitely helped.
That really made a difference. And it's for a lot of people at home, you think of football, you think offense, defense. But special teams can make such a difference in that ball game, in any ball game. But I really felt like it made a huge difference in this ball game.
Yeah, so early in that game, after they got a first down, but then they had a penalty, so it ended up being a 3-and-out. We had a really good sack by Brett Clemens. The quarterback dropped the snap, and he just rushed in there and made a huge sack. So we got him pinned back, and we went after their punt. Now, we didn't block it, but they shanked it, and it was only a 10-yard punt. So our offense is set up inside the 30-yard line, ready to go, and 3-4 plays later, we're in the end zone. That's started by our defensive special teams.
You absolutely have to capitalize on those options, too. You don't get the ball at the 30 very often.
No.
So when you do, you got to capitalize. All right, so going into week 2, Grace Creek. Talk to us a little bit. Now, we obviously know we're not going to give the whole book away. I don't want to give the opponents any upper hand.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit what your thought process is going into week 2, and what are some keys to winning Friday night?
Well, I think it goes back to, we talk about what do we do well, and that's little things like we've got to be able to be detail-oriented. Like our defensive ends, they have to stay at the line of scrimmage. They have to. They cannot rush in. If they rush in, the guard doesn't even have to trap them, because that on buck sweep and counter tray, they're trying to hit that thing in the B gap. So if we do a good job of getting our hands on their tackle so they can't release up to our second level inside backers, and we stay at the line of scrimmage, and that guard comes around, we wrong arm them. And when I say wrong arm, it's if a play's coming to the right, I'm not taking it on with my inside shoulder. I'm actually turning my shoulder, so I'm forcing that tailback to bounce and run sideways. So we've got to do a better job of that. And then we've got to continue the pursuit of the ball. They do have the buck sweep. They got the counter tray that we have to be concerned about. And then they've got the RPO, like I had talked about earlier. Off that action, I think it's predetermined, but I do know that if we do what we're supposed to, and this is a quote from my longtime head coach while I was in college, Coach Rocco Solomon, he says, do your 111th. Don't worry about anybody else's. Do your job. Do your 111th, and we will be successful. And that's, I'm a firm believer of that. Once we understand that the ball is going that way, then we got to get hatched to the football. But we've got to be, the 4-4 defense is predicated on forcing teams to drive the ball 10, 12 plays, because a lot of times teams self-destruct. So.
Well, we saw that Friday night. Montgomery Central, I want to say, had 14 penalties, 14 or 15. So they really did self-destruct. You really held them and contained them, and eventually things went sideways for them. All right, so we're going to take a quick break here from our sponsors, and we're going to hand out some hardware in a few minutes after this commercial break. So this has been head coach Jason Trousdale, the Union Pines Vikings. I'm Nathan Cochrane. We're here at Pinehurst Toyota. We'll hear a quick word from our sponsors and hand out some hardware.
Legacy Commercial and Residential Construction. From concept to design, constructed to fit your lifestyle. We use only top quality finishes to make our house your home. Legacy Commercial and Residential Construction. The Sand Hills residential and commercial builder of choice. Jen Ritchie and her staff at Everything Pines can show you all the Southern Pines, Pinehurst, Aberdeen, and Bass have to offer. A trusted real estate professional with over a decade of experience. Each client receives a customized marketing plan featuring professional photography, drone footage, and floor plans designed just for them. For more information, go to everythingpinespartners.com and check out one of the hundreds of reviews. Everything Pines, showcasing the Sand Hills.
Welcome back here to Pinehurst Toyota. This is Nathan Cochrane, head coach Jason Trousdale, and with us are two regional legends, from what I hear, at Legacy Residential and Commercial Construction, based out of Pinehurst, North Carolina, Southern Pines, Aberdeen. Southern Pines. Yeah. Southern Pines. So, all right, so go ahead and give us a little bit. They are our sponsors for Offensive Defensive Player of the Week, and they are our sponsor. Y'all are the NFHS Game of the Week sponsor for us. So we thank you for that. Tell us a little bit about Legacy Residential and Commercial Construction, what you're all about, and how you can help people here in eastern Piedmont, North Carolina.
We appreciate that. We're a company that's been around since 2007.
Okay.
And we came in. My brother Brad and I, we own the company together. Brad was prior military, and whenever he got out of the military, moved back home with us and joined up together to form the company. I went to Appalachian State for construction management and architectural design. Brad's also an App State grad, so we're a family of App State people. And came back to get things started then. We started with primarily custom housing. That's kind of our specialty. Design build is where we were staying.
Okay.
Now we've branched out into a little bit more development work. We have several developments around town, from Southern Pines to Sanford. We have them in Bass, Carthage. We have them a little bit everywhere now.
Wow. So now do you do all residential? I know in your name it says residential and commercial. Yeah. Tell me a little bit about your commercial leg.
So on the commercial side of things, we specialize with a lot of medical facilities. We do some dental practices. We've done stuff here at the car dealership. We do schools. We've done some things for Stars Charter School. So we don't turn down anything. So
you've done everything from the residential crackerjack, as some people like to say, all the way up to the design build upfits of commercial work. So this is a really one-stop shop.
It is.
Now,
We also do pools and outdoor living spaces. That's kind of Brad's expertise there, with custom water features and all kinds of things.
well, I hope my wife's not listening because she's been on my rear end about a pool for about 5 years now.
As long as the check clears the bank, we got you.
So tell us a little bit, how many employees do y'all have now? Your office is here in Southern Pines. They just come, people want to come talk to you, they just come knock on the door. Do they need to make an appointment? How does that work?
Now, they can find us on Facebook's the easiest way, or just show up at the office. We're on Pinehurst Avenue here in Southern Pines. They can show up there. We have 8 people on staff now that come in. We have some great office personnel that's there representing us whenever we can't be there.
Very nice, very nice. Anything else y'all want to say about this Offensive Defensive Player of the Week award and high school football, or y'all just want to go and hand out hardware and move on?
We're honored to be a part of that. So one of the main goals Brad and I have, we grew up in this area, we grew up in sports. We were a family that grew up around sports. Our dad was very big in parks and recreation, helping with all of that. And we've always said if we ever have an opportunity to give back to athletics, that's what we want our contribution to be. So anything we can do to support these kids in athletics in the county, we're going to do that.
Very nice, very nice. Gentlemen, we thank you for everything you do for the kids here of Moore County, and then all you do for the people of Moore County. You know, we got people got to have places to live. So we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to hand out some hardware and talk to some young men.
Jen Ritchie and her staff at Everything Pines can show you all the Southern Pines, Pinehurst, Aberdeen, and Bass have to offer. A trusted real estate professional with over a decade of experience. Each client receives a customized marketing plan featuring professional photography, drone footage, and floor plans designed just for them. For more information, go to everythingpinespartners.com and check out one of the hundreds of reviews. Everything Pines, showcasing the Sand Hills.
Buy your next new or used car the way you want to buy with the Pinehurst Toyota Smart Buy program. Visit PinehurstToyota.com and choose or build the vehicle you want. Try the Pinehurst Toyota Smart Buy. It's the easiest way to buy your next new or used car.
Welcome back here to Pinehurst Toyota in Southern Pines, North Carolina. With me, again, Union Pines head football coach Jason Trousdale. And we have 2 gentlemen here on my left and my right. Hey, Coach, tell us a little bit about who these men are and what they're here for tonight.
I will. I'm glad to talk about both these guys. Ben Finkelstein here is our quarterback. Just a tremendous leader, tremendous person. I can't say enough good stuff about this young man here to my right. Really, really quality individual. Comes from a really good family. Outstanding student. He is just the guy that you want as your quarterback. He did a tremendous job being a leader. Friday night against Mont Central, I think he toted the rock 15 times. He carried it for 138 yards. And when I asked him after, I said, was it too many carries? He said, no, Coach, it was not enough. So that was music to my ears and probably our offense coordinators as well. Ben is just a really good kid, and hopefully, he'll get an opportunity to play college football. Hopefully, he has a bunch of more games for us this year. Hoping to take it one at a time. But we're excited about the opportunity this week and against Grace Creek. But he definitely was our offensive player of the game. He did everything. He long snapped, he short snapped, he made a tackle on special teams.
I will say, we called that out on the broadcast. I saw number 9 come across the screen and make a tackle, and I was like, to be sure they didn't have your starting quarterback on special teams.
Well, to get the punt off, you need to have a snap, and he does it better than anybody we have. So he's going to do that continuously throughout the season. So, and he's trying to play defense, and I'll tell you, I'm not against that either. I mean, we're trying to win football games, and he's a really good football player, so he's going to have an opportunity, I think, to play in college, and I'm excited about having him.
He's a big frame. We saw him up from the press box Friday night, and you see the numbers on the rosters, and you always kind of look at him, you're like, yeah, okay, inflated 20, 30 pounds, maybe 1 or 2 inches. Yeah, everyone kind of knows the game. But you are a big young man. You're a lot bigger than I was anticipating. So big frame there for all of our college coaches looking at watching at home. We got a young man with a big frame here. He could put some pounds on and be ready to rock and roll. All right, who else do we have here, Coach?
This guy to my left is Christopher Gilbert. Again, a senior captain. He's a 2-year captain, just like Ben. Very, very intelligent kid. Comes from a really good family as well. Is a worker, similar to Ben, workaholic. He will live in the weight room. He's gotten bigger. He's gotten stronger. He's gotten faster. Another kid that can play college football, I believe. He was outstanding defensively, and it's his first time he's played inside linebacker in a game. So the fact that he was as good as he was in the first game playing inside linebacker says a lot about, you know, the opportunities that we will have, because in our defense, the inside backers, if they make plays, we got a chance to be really successful. And his relentless, and I'll use that word, when you're really relentless, his effort was tremendous, and he stood out, and that's why he was our defensive player of the game.
Very nice. So, gentlemen, tell me a little bit. You're both seniors, correct? Both seniors this year. First off, any projected college plans? We know your head coach is sitting here beating the bushes trying to get some coaches knocking on the door. Go ahead and give us a little bit what you're thinking in the next year or so.
Just looking for any opportunities to play the next level.
Okay.
You know, I can't disagree. Ben's right. I just want to keep playing football, but at the same time, you know, this past month has been like exclusively Common App scholarship stuff. It's just
it's nonstop, isn't it?
To get ahead.
It's hard. It's when I was coming up in the college recruiting, the only time you got to talk to coaches was when they came and knocked on the door. You know, and if you were good enough, they might actually come visit at your house and try to convince your mother to let you sign with them. But in today's world, talk a little bit about that aspect in today's world with all the different apps and Huddle. I mean, when I was coming up, we were still sending VHSs.
So true.
We were cutting and splicing and mailing VHSs off. Talk to us a little bit about what y'all are doing on that aspect as far as sending coaches Huddle film, going to camps. What does that look like for y'all in today's world?
Yeah, so I don't have a ton of experience with it, I'm not gonna lie, but it feels a lot more like the player individually has to go out searching for a school and coaching staff that'll be a good fit for you. You know, going on Twitter, emailing, messaging as many coaches as you can, trying to get maybe a game day visit so you can feel the environment, get to know the coaching staff, and just, you know, hopefully come home with an offer.
That's awesome. That's so much more work is put in on y'all's end than when I was coming up. So I applaud y'all for that. Now y'all have been Union Pines all 4 years, both of you. So you've gone through coaching change. You've gone through COVID, which threw a wrench in everyone's world. Talk to me a little bit about what it's like being a Viking. And you don't have to just say nice things about head coach here. What's it mean to y'all to be a Viking? Because in all intents and purposes, the cards were kind of stacked, right? The cards were kind of stacked against the high school. Tell us a little bit about what it means to be a Viking for y'all, what it means for this environment for your program, and what you're hoping for this season.
Yeah, so we take pride in the jersey we wear, and to us it means, to all of our team, it means to be someone who's relentless, someone who's going to work really hard, someone who's going to be tough, and persevere through whatever obstacles come our way.
Very good. Go ahead.
No, I'm fine.
That was a spot-on answer. Very, very good. So, gentlemen, with us we have the Offensive Defensive Trophy of the Week award. This is the first. Obviously, this is week one of the season. I have a feeling we'll be seeing both of you again at some point in time throughout the season. Also, that comes with it is a Zaxby's gift card. So make sure you go get you some chicken from Zaxby's when you can. Coach, anything else you want to say before we sign off for the night?
No, I just, want to say that, it's times have changed as how recruitment goes. And with the COVID year, with the 6th year, these kids are able to go around and get that 6 years. So it's tougher on our guys to be able to get recruited just because of that. So I think that will slow down maybe the next years are coming, but I do know that it is a challenge for our seniors and our seniors that just graduated. So we got 2 quality players right here, 2 quality human beings, and unbelievable student athletes that will make any college proud. So.
Well, and it's tough with the transfer portal now. Kids can go pretty much wherever they want to go. I am not envious of the high school kids coming out today, and I know some really, really good high school kids that have just been completely looked over because college coaches are deciding to go with a transfer portal kid. I was talking to a parent earlier this week. They have a family member who has played at a couple of Division I schools. He's been redshirted. He had his COVID year. And he's 20 years old, getting ready to start his first of 4 years in eligibility, and it's hard. It's a hard, daunting task for y'all. Anything we can do to help as this continues, would absolutely love to do it. We're really looking forward to continuing y'all's coverage throughout the year. Really looking forward to watching y'all play defense, offense, special teams, and win some more ball games there at what's the official name of the stadium? We always call it Between the Pines.
Will Hoyt Stadium.
Will Hoyt Stadium. We're really looking forward to that. Gentlemen, anything else y'all want to say before we sign off?
No, sir. Thank you for having us.
Thank y'all for coming. Thank you again to all of our sponsors as well. Pinehurst Toyota. I might have to stop in and take a look at this Toyota Tundra before I decide to drive myself home. Huge thank you to Legacy Residential and Commercial Construction for everything they do, and Zaxby's, and we're going to sign off here and see y'all Friday night.
At the Shed Depot of North Carolina, we believe there's a better way to buy shed. One where all the selection, all the quality, and all the service are in one place to make your buying experience easier. Visit our sales center located just off US Highway 1 in Sanford, or get started today at ShedDepotNC.com to view in-stock models or to design your perfect shed using our 3D design tool.
We have a home at 225 Sainsbury Place.
Bring it.
We have automobiles.
Bring it.
I have golf clubs.
Bring it.
We have a trampoline.
Bring it.
I have jewelry.
Bring it. For all your home, auto, life, all your insurance needs, give us a call at 919-774-4440.
Come see us in person, 1720 West Edward Drive in Sanford, right beside Davis's Steakhouse.
North Carolina Farm Bureau is a proud sponsor of
the Scholar Athlete of the Week Award.
Welcome to the Zaxby's Coaches Show, brought to you by New Image Media.
There's a special place in heaven. Welcome back here to Pinehurst Toyota here in Southern Pines, North Carolina. One more trophy to give away tonight is the Farm Bureau Scholar of the Week Award. Coach, tell us who that is and a little bit about your scholar athlete.
So the recipient of the Scholar Athlete Award is Cannon John. He's actually a first-time football player, and he is not with us tonight because he's busy playing soccer. He's a 4.0 or better student. He kicked 3 PATs for us and punted as well, and made a couple tackles, touchdown saving tackles on special teams. So he's just a really, really good kid, really, really smart kid, and we're really fortunate that he came out for the football team this year. He was a big impact in our victory. So Cannon John is our recipient of the Scholar Athlete Award.
Cannon John, we called his name quite a bit Friday night and watched him do some really, really fun things with the football. We also watched him make a couple of tackles, and Ben was talking earlier about grittiness and toughness in your program. I've seen a lot of coaches go to the soccer team and get kids to kick, and usually they kick off and they pick up their tee and they just trot over to the sideline. Yeah, it doesn't really matter what the play happens after that. As long as they kick it a long way, that's all they care about. But to see him make a couple of tackles first year on, first Friday nights, first time under the lights there, high school football, and he's making some tackles. That's a pretty tough kid you got there.
Yeah, and actually we had talked about it in film session on Saturday morning. I did say to him, I said, I'll be quite honest with you, Cannon. I said, if the returner had got it past our line of defense, I was concerned it would be a touchdown. And the fact that he was able to make those plays told me a lot about the kind of kid he is. He stuck his head in there and made a play, and
wasn't afraid.
He was not afraid.
Love it. Love it.
Awesome.
So to wrap this up, this was the Farm Bureau Scholar of the Week Award. So a big thanks to Farm Bureau. Go see my friend Carson Lanier down in Tramway, North Carolina Farm Bureau. He and I played basketball when we were knee-high to grasshoppers, as the old folks say. So again, thank you to Pinehurst Toyota for hosting us tonight. Zaxby's for all of their continued sponsorship of local high school sports. Huge shout out to Legacy Residential Commercial Construction and Farm Bureau for our Scholar Athlete of the Week Award. So we look forward to seeing everybody Friday night at Woolhoyt Stadium there in Cameron, North Carolina, as the Union Pines Vikings take on the Grays Creek Bears. Have a good night.
90 years ago, First Bank was founded. You know First Bank, the one where you are greeted by name, the one dedicated to the community, and the one born in the heart of the Carolinas.
We help our customers to realize their dreams by providing financial solutions and building trusted relationships. Hi, I'm David Fashee, and we are First Bank.
Buy your next new or used car the way you want to buy with the Pinehurst Toyota Smart Buy program. Visit PinehurstToyota.com and choose or build the vehicle you want. Try the Pinehurst Toyota Smart Buy. It's the easiest way to buy your next new or used car.